it's kind of comedic to talk about $400 prices. Nobody buys that for $400. And those who do, I feel sorry for them. They really could have flew on a weekend trip somewhere, stayed by the beach. The last remaining intelligence, olfaction. We have a discerning nose. We are the ones who contain the secret codes that connect us to reality. If you thought that you acquire that knowledge and you own it now, you control it now, life will show you. It's showing us already that we forget. And sometimes, even worse, the information that we thought we knew was wrong. We're unmooring. Something is unmooring. And there's no other piece of land to grab. I don't know who needs to see this, because lately the whole shopping thing, the whole content thing, the whole internet YouTube thing has been feeling like, oh, I got this, carousel. This is great, green, fresh basilic, but not my favorite. This has tomato leaves, also green, fresh, but it doesn't quite have a base, but it's cheaper. This is very rare, more expensive, also green tomato leaves, but deeper and a little bit more expensive. It's just a never-ending carousel, barrage of barcodes. Why are we doing this? Why am I doing this? At the same time, I'm still enjoying smelling all these things, comparing them. But I've been feeling kind of icky about showing anything at all. There are only so many facets by which I can compare to alcoholic liquids. And there are only so many words can be said about gray markets versus department stores versus official distributors or, websites of brands. It just feels hollow. It feels like yet again we lost our way. And also, isn't that in some way already perverted to keep going down these rabbit holes? The best mango, the best amber, the most delicious vanilla, we've been there. And also, does it matter? Is there one best tomato leaf scented perfume, and do you care? If you smell it, you might get that familiar gist of, gardening at your grandma's village or whatever, or organic market. They actually make flavors. They've been naughty for a while, fragrance and flavor industry. They've made fragrances that smell like tomato leaves, and they spray them on those plastic, tasteless things that we call tomatoes in the store. Ask me how I know. Like, for me, buying tomatoes is an adventure. Sometimes I go 5 times a week to 4 different stores, just trying to find tomatoes that taste like something and don't cost $10 for 10 ounces. So, but disregard that. Does it matter? Does it matter that your basilic is more basilic than my basilic? Does it matter that it's tomato leaf or something else? As long as it's fresh, pleasant smelling. I feel most people don't care. Most people won't notice, and most people don't care. Even I'm doubting if I care. Is good enough good enough? Maybe it is. Maybe there's no need for me to actually try to study any of these notes, to do these deep dives into who cares about what time and history for what brand. Isn't that all entropy? Isn't that all a waste of our time anyway? Maybe it's much simpler. Maybe it's much more hedonistic and simpler. You smell it, you like it, good enough. You don't need to look for anything else anything edgier, stronger, or more realistic or more imaginative. Maybe that's it. Just move on with your life, do something. Which in my case means count my losses in the stock market. Oh, God. But enough about work. It feels rotten. The whole world, the industry, my own content, I can't fake it anymore. I can't explain it away. I can't pretend it's not there. I can't manufacture interest in things that I'm starting to doubt if it's truly of interest. And I don't think I'm burned out. No, I think I'm just going through some reevaluation crisis of some, hopefully, quantity develop into some kind of quality. I don't know, or maybe I'm about to quit. It just doesn't feel real. The realest things of all, there are only two senses that are left to us that are still connecting us to reality. It is haptic response, our sense of touch, warm, cold, pressure, and therefore some pain response relates to that as well. And olfaction. Every other sense has been hijacked. Every other sense has been co-opted by technology and groups of people who control it. So with us being part of this group of people who are interested in olfaction, I thought naively that we were preserving something, that we were delving into something deeper, that we were developing not just our noses, we're not just passing time, that we're developing our connection to reality. It felt true. It felt authentic. It felt, in a way, in a good way, niche. We are the awakened ones. We are the ones who care. We are the ones who notice. We're the ones who have a more discerning, they used to say discerning eye, but now we can't believe our eyes, the virtual reality, augmented reality, our brains not distinguishing what we see in our phones as any less real. Actually, this is more real to most of the young people than the people with them in the room. So have a discerning eye is no longer an option. So we thought, okay, the last remaining sense beside haptic, which is, people mostly relate to sports, sex, anything that relates to touch. The last remaining intelligence, olfaction. We have a discerning nose. We are the ones who contain the secret codes that connect us to reality, that makes us see the invisible, makes us understand the cultural underpinnings that control everyone's memory, amygdala response, associations. We are the ones who are, if not maybe having the keys, but we are the ones who will find them, who will build them, who will will them into reality, and we will have some kind of, if not control, but much more woven, much deeper, much more rooted connection to the world. Do we? Are we becoming any more connected to reality by being here even? Am I understanding olfaction any better after all this? I don't know. First and foremost, it changes. That's the first rule of life. It changes. If you think you remember something, you just wait a few months. You'll forget that scent, that smell, that eventually you will forget. If you at some point were good at distinguishing the nuances of terpenes versus fat esters or this or that, if at some point you were diving into the chemical structures, if at some point you were diving into more composite mixture behaviors and accords and the branding, if at some point you read a lot about the history of the mining of aroma chemicals and ingredients and which country and which locale produced what, and how to find the most authentic oud or this or that, can you still get some kind of a tincture of moss? If you thought that you acquire that knowledge and you own it now, you control it now. You cannot be that naive. Life will show you. It's showing us already that we forget. And sometimes, even worse, the information that we thought we knew was wrong. That we read it somewhere, we trusted the author of whoever published that information, and then we discovered that everything we knew and took as postulate of truth was poorly researched, sometimes made up, sometimes just kind of sort of put together. Somebody said here, somebody said that, and there's no real basis of all of it. Somewhat was wishful mythology of merchants who were just trying to sell us more. So do we actually know more now? Do we? I'm curious. I just want to hear I just want to hear somebody say, do we? If we do, please let me know what. I find myself in this really weird, sad grief of making full circle, of ending up none the wiser, just so many dollars less, so many more glass bottles just that are burdening my shelves. And yet, I love them. I love my little precious, useless possessions. I love them. I wear them with pleasure. And if I lost all of them, it's a very clear knowing. It's not just an intellectual realization. It's a knowing. I know that if I lost all of them, all of my perfumes, all of my precious materials, fragrance oils or components that I used to train my nose with, if I lost all of that, I wouldn't care. I would either redirect my attention to something else, yet another hobby, yet another obsession, yet another structuring and diving into some kind of information pool, or I would start over. I would just start seeing what's out there in terms of olfactory arts and creations. Slowly but surely, even if I had no money, I would get a decant, I would get a set. These days, what's the point of buying any bottle blindly? It's purely greed or some kind of imaginary sunk costs. Oh, well, what if I buy a decant and I like it, then I still have to buy a bottle? But really, there's so many wonderful sets and there's so many decant providers that you can assemble a very nuanced, interesting, diverse collection, and it might take just one box of 5 ml decants, and that's it. And I know people who actually pursued that route and are very happy. I feel such a fool with this whole room full of glass, and eventually you fall out of love with some of them if they don't go bad. Because sometimes perfumes do go rancid. I feel such a fool. I'm at loss if any of that was worth it, if any of that was even a wise thing to do. I don't mind losing all of them. And I love them all. I use my perfume collection all the time. And in such a simplistic, hedonistic way, I'll spray something, then I forget that I sprayed it 2 hours later, I spray something else. Like, I love this too. This is even greater. This is also fun. And it pleasantly does not matter. In a very pleasant, easy, nonchalant way. So it's not that visceral of a sense then, if I don't care. If I'm not defined by a signature scent, after all, if my love for citruses manifested in its pinnacle of Bigorat Concentré par Frédéric Malle, I got it, I have it, I wore it a ton, and now I don't. I just look at it and cherish the fact that I have it, and it will go bad. Citruses do. All of the kind of top heavy perfumes go rancid and they change a lot. You better use all of your lights, freshies and florals before they lose the most precious thing about them, which is the opening stage, the top notes. I just don't, because I don't care. I can use this, and it's all fine. It's not what really makes the life worth living. It's not what makes me truly interesting to other people or valuable to them or even attractive. High TikTok reels and shorts about sexiest perfumes or whatever. Is it all a sham? I feel many people have been there before. I feel I've seen that arc, that narrative arc of the plot of the story of being obsessed with perfumes many times before, and not just with normal people, so to speak, people who just get into it, buy a bunch of different things that they either like or can afford or blindly. And then they think, all right, I have so many, I should start selling decants. And then, well, since I have so many emotions, I should try to blog about it. And that they realize that selling decants a pain in the ass. You get screwed by platforms, by not very ethical buyers. It's too much hassle for not that much income, unless you take it seriously. You take it seriously as a business, right? And you start actually scaling it, which absolutely kills all the fun of it. Then they learn that producing content, it's like screaming to the void without much feedback. Unless you're social in real life with that, then you actually have people you meet in real life and exchange decants and talk to or do some kind of activities with who are into it as well. Otherwise, it's a churn, it's rut. It's a running wheel that does not necessarily deepen your connection with either perfumery or other people. And that's the arc. That's the kind of the plot arc of a normal person who got into perfumery. But I've seen that happen even with people who got notoriety and book deals from this. Every single one. Chandler, Turin. Oh gosh, this wonderful. I don't have the books in this room. One of my favorite perfume books. It's kind of bright orange with gold. Really fun. It's a new generation blogger who wrote it. She did a great job. I'm not sure if a perfume industry at all acknowledged her effort and how fun and at the same time nuanced her narration about classical perfume was. Even people like that. Some people start making perfume events, and eventually, unless you can take it seriously as a business and figure out how it scales without you, Yet again, you realize it's more hassle than it's worth. Well, and then the commercial craze rolls in with just a barrage of new releases, new brands, and this just ridiculous escalation of prices. Everybody is talking about an AI bubble. I gotta say, we're living through a bubble of everything right now. Every single thing that can be sold, that you can charge money for, is grossly overpriced. Grossly. Our discretionary spending is very uneven. Very uneven. And even those people who find themselves in the position that they throw in $400 for this bottle and $600 for that one, are still not finding any solace or meaning even in that, even if that doesn't hurt their wallet. And a lot of people do it instead of securing their living conditions or securing their relationships, developing them, or sometimes people, instead of going on a journey, on a vacation and getting a pet sitter, or certain arrangements has to be made for a lot of people. Maybe traveling is expensive for them because they have to travel with kids, or because they have health issues, they need special provisions in order to go from A to B. But instead of preparing for that or doing that, we're buying things and calling it a lifestyle. Fine. If only it worked, that would be fine. I'm not sure it does. maybe for some people, for some period of time, but I've seen that bubble before. Most of all in the beauty industry. Oh my God, the makeup collections of 2014, 2018, it was already showing cracks. And now I still have a few shelves of makeup because I just like paint. I mean, it's like painting. It's fun. But as you start aging, as your face changes, it's not as fun because your canvas is not as smooth and is not as forgiving. And still, I look at that, I could get rid of all of my makeup collection, go to the closest Sephora Ulta, just get a few other things just to get, get the basics, and I will be fine. It doesn't matter. I don't even look at the brands anymore. I check the texture. There are so many, the texture is leveled up quite a bit. That's the good thing about technological industrial progress. And the same with perfumery. Perfumery developed so much over the last 30 years. And yet all of the books, all of the narratives about history of perfumery, they kind of stop at the 90s, where I dare say perfumery started in the 90s of 20th century. The grandiosity of molecules, accord, possibilities, packaging, the proliferation of cultural codes and birth of many niches, it's innumerable. And maybe that's why nobody dares to try to write a book about it, because there's too much. Everything exploded, and everything, and movies and music and makeup and even the nail polishes. I was part of that bubble too. And I'm seeing the same cracks appearing in the perfume community. Too many brands, too many releases. Everyone, I dare say, leveled up. Even the $10 no-name things I can find in TJ Maxx or Ross. Everything has leveled up. Everything is doable. You grab a spray anywhere, it's most likely not going to be very synthetic or bad smelling. It's going to be pleasant. But there's so much of it from every corner, for any price, that it kind of washes off the meaning to have it at all. I'm not sure that it's so much of an overwhelm or the pricing by itself. It's everything together. I feel we're on the cusp of the whole thing collapsing. And I did make that prediction before. I know I'm a Cassandra of perfume community. It's going to happen. Let's face it, we all know it's going to happen. The bubble's going to burst. The 600 bottles of a brand that came out of nowhere, has no history, has no real strategy, destination, no real dedication to the craft. They're just rolling. They're just want fast luxury, I call it. There's fast fashion, there's now fast luxury. Just spend $600. It's fine. It's great. It's amazing niche perfume. It's super duper cool. It's very interesting. But everything you can find interesting in any price point now. Why would, and people still do it almost reflectorily. But many are starting to fatigue. I think just the sheer size of bottles in everyone's house, people are starting to slightly fatigue. It's yet another, does not incrementally get you anywhere where you thought you keep going. Every new bottle does not equal as much excitement or novelty or exploration as when you started, no matter what it is, expensive or affordable. I'm seeing the same cracks, and I'm not sure if that wave, if that typhoon is gonna wash me with it as well. Will I still be in it in a year, in two? Will you? Will I still care? Or will I just wear something pleasant? Will it become like makeup? With makeup, because I've been there from 2010. I've seen the whole influencer social media thing rise. I contributed to a lot of it. No regrets, but also there's nothing to be proud of. Especially from both content and technological side. Fine. And now, after all washed and gone, what did it devolve to? Did it completely lose its value? Almost. I still do have a variety. I still care about good packaging. I still care about some branding value when it comes to makeup. I would never care to go to Ulta or Sephora to see a new release or rush to get a new eyeshadow palette or lipstick or this or that. That's just non sequitur. That's not gonna happen. There's nothing in it for me that I would chase. And it's becoming like that with perfumes. If something is very, very expensive and it's not already in my very narrow list of brands that I respect because they've been around for 30 plus years and they've dedicated themselves to the art of perfumery, there's nothing there for me. I don't care to get PR. I don't care to go run and smell it. It's really, there's not much. Because there's so much great stuff. I already have a lot of great stuff. There are a lot of great stuff out there. And a lot of that great stuff costs $60 on a gray marketplace. We'll know where. So it's kind of comedic to talk about $400 prices. Nobody buys that for $400. And those who do, I feel sorry for them. They really could have flew on a weekend trip somewhere. Stayed by the beach for one night at least, and air tickets there and back would enhance their lives way more than this. Or at the very least, they could have gotten themselves 3 perfumes for those $400 easily. And would they really notice the loss of that one? Yeah, maybe those 3 are not going to smell the same, but they're going to be great. They're going to be interesting. They're going to be great. They're going to enjoy wearing them. So does it matter? Does it matter? That said, I do want to know what you guys think. But I also have been diving into green perfumes. I don't know if anybody wants to hear it. You'll let me know. Tomato leaves, weird greens, basilic, things that are papyrus, various herbaceous, aromatic, gender bender things, new, old, expensive, affordable. I'm eyeing a little collection here of newly acquired items. If you are into it, I'll find it in me. I'll find that breeze of hope and curiosity and grab onto it with my claws in order to get you a good, freshy, aromatic perfume haul. But not today. It's... God. I feel like it's the end of an era. I feel something is cracking, something is shifting. And not just because of the world of fragrances, everywhere. It's becoming harder and harder to suspend disbelief. And the value of things that we used to value are really under big scrutiny right now. And a massive brainwashing and propaganda wave of all kinds of media sources are not helping. I feel collectively people are less and less inclined to suspend disbelief, to play along with the information that's being catered to them. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have any stronger alternative message or an idea to cling to, and this is probably why it's so disturbing. Nevertheless, that's the vibe. I can't shake it off. I can't. Do you feel it? Do you feel it with me? We're unmooring. Something is unmooring, and there's no other piece of land to grab. There are no other salvation idea or hobby or concept or another intellectual or learning escapade to grasp at this time. Well, I hope I didn't bum you out too much. Let me know what you think, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.